fits the flow of your life with convenient and easy-to-use tech that makes you ready to wake up, pay your friend back with Zelle in the Citizens mobile app, all before your morning snooze. Quickly buy groceries with your Citizens card and your digital wallet for your next culinary adventure. And easily deposit that birthday check with mobile deposit. So whether you're relaxing, creating, or celebrating, we have tech that fits the flow of your life. Citizens, made ready.
Hi there, my name is Victoria Rutledge and welcome to the City of Albany's Virtual Tulip Festival. I will be leading you through an hour-long yoga practice, and my goal for this yoga practice is to put you back in touch with your body. Ultimately, the goal of yoga is to lead us into liberation. Liberation from the things that hold us back, our fears and troubles, and really bring us into a sense of joyfulness, peace, and equanimity in our lives. And I also want to give a special shout out to all the mothers out there today. Happy Mother's Day, and maybe I'll celebrate the women in our lives. So to begin, I want us to find a comfortable seat. And this comfortable seat can be whatever is most comfortable in your body. Personally, I like to stack one ankle in front of the other and bring my hands to my knees. As you find your way into your seat, close the eyes for just a moment and take just a beat to notice the breath. Notice your natural breath as it flows in and out of your body, and begin to notice the quality of your physical form, your emotional form, your intellect and your thoughts. And begin to cultivate a sense of compassion and acceptance about how you're showing up today. I aim to make this class accessible to everyone. And if at any point you need to modify, change, or switch around how we're moving, I really encourage you to do so, because this practice is for you. So as we settle into the breath, lengthen the spine, floating through the crown of the head. If it feels good, you can gently deepen the breath, drawing the breath all the way down to the base of the pelvis until it blooms through the diaphragm, the ribs, and the collarbones. And as we exhale, allow yourself to do so easily and completely. When you're ready, take a big inhale, reach both arms high. And as you exhale, twist to the left, bringing the right hand to the left knee and dropping the left hand behind the back. We inhale to gently lengthen through the spine and exhale to deepen. Allow your breath to allow you to explore this shape. One more deep breath here. And as you exhale, come back to the center, bring the hands behind the back. We extend the legs forward and just begin to shake the feet from side to side, finding this rotation past the knees all the way into the hip creases. Noticing sensation in the space where the femur, head, and hip joint connect. And we come all the way back to stillness, pulling the right knee into the chest. Allow the right knee to open out to the right, so the sole of the right foot comes to the inner left thigh. We draw the left toes back towards the face. Inhale to reach the arms high, and fold over the left leg, releasing through the crown. It can feel good to gently extend through the spine with inhalation and to settle back down with exhalation. And again, any micro movements or exploration you want to kind of lean into in every shape, you are more than welcome to do. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, slowly begin to release and pull the right knee back into your chest. Step the right foot to the outside of the left leg. We inhale, lengthening the spine, reaching the arms high. And as you exhale, twist to the right, either wrapping the left arm around the right knee or bringing the elbow to the outside of the knee, depending on how deeply you would like to twist. As you arrive, you return to the breath, noticing the interplay between expansion and surrendering. Take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, come back to the center, uncross the right foot and bring the left foot in to meet the right. Taking the feet in the hands, we inhale to lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, fold over the legs, dropping through the crown of the head. I like to wiggle here, maybe sending the torso from side to side, releasing through the crown, letting everything go. One more big breath here. And as you exhale, slowly begin to release. Bring the hands to the outsides of the knees and press the knees to touch. We bring the hands behind the thighs, roll the shoulders back and down, lengthening the spine, and then bring the shins parallel to the earth. Maintaining that connection of the hands to the thigh, lengthen through the spine and open through the space of the heart. You can breathe into the collarbones. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, the feet come down and we return to our comfortable seat. Bring the hands back to the knees, close the eyes for just a moment and reconnect with the breath. You blink the eyes open and we'll take that on the other side. Inhale, reach both arms high to the sky. And as you exhale, twist to the right. Bring the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the back. Inhaling to lengthen the spine in this open twist. Exhaling as we invite ourselves to twist a little deeper. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, come back to the center, hands come behind the back and we uncross the feet. And again, we kind of take this windshield wiper motion with the legs, rotating all the way up to the hip crease. Come back to stillness. Pull the left knee into the chest and bring the left foot to the inner right thigh. Keeping the hips and shoulders square towards the right leg, we sweep the arms high and exhale to fold over the right leg, bowing knee to nose. Maybe it would feel good to gently extend in the spine on the inhale and exhale to deepen. You can always put a soft bend in the right knee here if the low back is feeling sensitive. And again, make this practice your own in whatever way you need to. Take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, slowly begin to release. Pull the left knee into the chest and step the left foot to the outside of the right leg. We inhale to reach the arms high. And as you exhale, twist to the left, either wrapping the right arm around the left thigh or bringing the elbow to the outside of the knee. We turn the gaze over the right shoulder, or the left shoulder, and we breathe. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, come back to the center, uncross that left foot and bring the right foot to meet the left. If your hips are feeling sensitive, you can bring blankets or pillows or yoga blocks underneath the knees to kind of support the hips. But as you inhale, we lengthen the spine and exhale to fold over the legs, letting everything go. Exploring movement here as your body likes. Noticing the rhythm of your breath. Take one more big inhalation. And as you exhale, slowly release. Bring the hands to the outsides of the knees and press the knees to touch. The hands come behind the thighs as we roll the shoulders back and down, lengthening the spine, gently arching the low back, bring the shins parallel to the earth. Maybe this time you want to extend the arms forward, but only do so if you can maintain the extension in the spine and honor the curve of the low back. If not, we keep our hands firmly tucked and really lengthen through the spine, reaching the heart space forward. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, the feet come down. You roll to one hip or the other and swing the knees coming into a tabletop position. And in tabletop, we want the wrists underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. Spread the fingers nice and wide, rooting through the tip of each finger and the ball bound of each finger. Inhale to arch the back deeply, turning gaze skyward. Exhale, round the spine, drawing chin to chest. Inhale, arch the back deeply, gaze skyward. Exhale as you round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, arch the back deeply, gaze skyward. Exhale as you round. Last time, big inhale, arch the back deeply. And as you exhale, come back to a neutral spine, lengthening tailbone through the crown of the head. With every exhalation, draw the belly in and up, using the core strength to support as we reach the right leg up behind. The right toes point towards the ground, both of the hip bones point towards the ground, and from the center of that right heel through the crown of the head, we have one long line of energy. Extend the left arm forward in a handshake position. And continue to breathe here. The core strength is the engine from which both of these limbs expand. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, the left hand comes down. And we come up to tented fingers in both hands, creating a little bit more space through the chest and strengthening the hands. Inhale, lift that right leg a little higher. And as you exhale, step the right foot between the hands, possibly using the hand to make sure the ankle and knee are in alignment. And then we walk the hands to the top of that right knee and gently roll the pelvis underneath, possibly finding sensation through the left hip flexor. Take a big inhale here, reach both arms high. Exhale, hands to heart as we connect with the breath. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, hands to heart. Last time, big inhale, reach the arms high. And as you exhale, hands frame that right foot. Inhale, gently lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, reach the right foot forward and fold over the leg. We want to keep the left knee underneath the left hip, drop through the crown, tucking the chin and lengthening the muscles of the neck. As we draw the right toes back towards the face, we may find more sensation through the calf and hamstring. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, draw that right foot back, tuck the left toes, and lift the left knee. So we're coming into a runner's lunge. We're on kind of railroad tracks as opposed to a tightrope, so there are a few inches between front and back foot, keeping us nice and balanced. We root down through the left hand, inhale, reach the right arm high. The right arm. And as we extend through the right fingertips, broaden across the chest, we can bring a block or a blanket or anything to lift the left hand here, creating more space through the back body. And then once you really extend through that top hand, reconnect with your foundation, spreading the toes wide, lifting in the back of the left knee. Take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, the right hand comes down, and we step the left foot up to meet the right. The feet are hips distance and parallel. We put a soft bend to the knee and release through the crown of the head, clasping opposite elbows. And you can nod the head yes and no here, swinging from the waist, allowing everything to fall away. These forward folds are for surrendering. And we can't free ourselves from the things that hold us back if we don't let them go. So allow yourself to exhale fully, maybe even letting out a sigh. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, the hands come down. Inhale, palms to shin, glance out halfway, lengthening. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, reach both arms high, palms touch above the head. Exhale, draw the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms high. And as you exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, palms to shin, flat back, lengthens the spine. And as you exhale, fold and step back to downward facing dog. But we won't stay here. Drop the left knee down to the mat and roll to the inside of the right foot. Make sure the left wrist is underneath the shoulder as we extend that left arm back up towards the sky. This time stacking hips and shoulders. Again, broaden across the chest and maybe reach that right arm up and over the head as we extend from the outside of that right foot through right fingertips. Allow the breath to expand between each rib, stretching open the intercostal muscles. Take a big inhale, reach that arm high. And as you exhale, the right hand comes down and the right knee meets the left. We inhale to reach the left arm high to the sky. And as you exhale, bring the left hand behind the right wrist, coming all the way down to the shoulder and ear. And we can extend through the right hand if that feels good, or even keep the right hand right underneath the shoulder if that feels right. But I want you to intentionally breathe into back body, expanding through the backs of the ribs, the back of the lungs. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, press down through the right hand, unthread that left arm, and come back to a tabletop position, wrists under shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We inhale to arch the back deeply, gaze skyward. Exhale as we round, chin to chest. Inhale, arch the back deeply. Exhale as we round. Inhale, arch the back deeply. Exhale, back to a neutral spine, lengthening tailbone through the crown of the head, drawing the belly in and up to support the weight of that left leg as we extend it behind. And I like to keep the gaze down in front of the finger here, extending through the back of the neck, reaching the collarbones and the crown of the head forward. And then we can stretch that right arm forward in a handshake position. Finding this diagonal line of energy, fingertip through the heel. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, just the right hand comes down, and we come onto tented fingers again, giving that left leg a little clearance. Inhale to extend it behind, and then step the left foot between the hands, maybe inching the ankle forward, making sure it's underneath the knee as we bring both hands to the left knee. And really tilt the pelvis forward here. You get that sensation through the left hip flexor as we float through the crown of the head. Take a big inhale, reach both arms high. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach the arms high. And as you exhale, bring the hands to frame that left foot. We inhale to gently extend in the spine. And then reach that left foot forward and fold over the left leg, keeping the right knee underneath the right hip here as we drop through the crown of the head and let everything go. And again, we can use the breath to really settle into the sensation, drawing the toes back towards the face, finding the stretch through the calf and hamstring muscle. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, the foot comes back. We tuck the right toes and lift the right knee. So we're coming into a runner's lunge, a few inches between front and back foot, and root down through the right hand, maybe using tented fingers. As we reach the left arm high, we want to open through the chest, draw out the shoulder blades together behind, and really extend through those fingertips. And then we return to the foundation, spreading the toes nice and wide, lifting in the back of the right knee. So not only is there sensation from the right hand through the left, but from the right heel through the crown of the head. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, the hand comes down. And we step the right foot to meet the left. Once more, we'll find a forward fold. The feet are hips distance and parallel. We release through the crown of the head. You can clasp opposite elbows once more, or you can interlace the fingers, bring the hands behind the head, and allow the elbows to drop towards the earth, using the weight of the arms to find a little bit more surrender in back body. And again, I want you to focus on that exhalation here, this letting go and surrendering. That is our first path of really feeling liberated in our bodies and in our lives. And then we release the hands down. Inhale, bring the palms to the shins, glance out halfway, lengthening. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, reach reach both arms high, palms touch above the head. Exhale, draw the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, palms to shin, flat back, lengthens the spine. Exhale, fold and step back to downward facing dog. We won't stay long as we drop the right knee down to the mat and roll to the inside edge of the left foot. On your next inhale, reach the left arm high, this time stacking hips and shoulders broad across the chest, and we can extend the left arm up and over the head, reaching from the outside of the left foot through the left fingertips. Allow your breath to be liberated in your body. Liberated beings don't have to put anyone else down. They have no need for hierarchies or binaries. Liberated beings get to be free. Take a big inhale, reach the left arm high. And as you exhale, bring the left hand down and drop the left knee to meet the right. We inhale to reach the right arm high to the sky. And as you exhale, bring the right hand behind the left wrist, all the way down to the shoulder and ear. Once again, we breathe into back body, noticing the space between the shoulder blades as we gently rotate around the axis of the spine. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, the hand comes back. We unthread the right arm and return to our tabletop position. And this time we're going to inhale to tuck the toes and exhale to lift the hips coming into downward facing dog. And I'll give you a side view once more because I want you to bend the knees to begin. As we spread the fingers wide, press down and away through the hands, finding extension in the spine, arching the low back up towards the ceiling, and then maybe we begin to pedal out the legs. Bending one knee as you mount the opposing heel into the mat. Exploring the shape, exploring your body, exploring your breath. Can we approach our practice with a sense of playfulness? We don't have to be so serious. In many ways, pleasure and joy can be that key right into liberation, into that sense of personal freedom and autonomy. Come all the way back to stillness here. Take a big inhale, roll through the spine, drift forward to plank, stacking the shoulders over the wrists, press back through the heels and lift in the back of the knees. So we have this long line of energy from the heels through the crown of the head. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, lower the knees, lower the chest all the way down to the mat. We separate the feet as wide as the shoulders are mat and slide the elbows underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers nice and wide and create some friction between the palms and the earth as we draw the heart between the gate of the arms, opening through front body, opening through the heart, and creating gentle compression in the low back. You can adjust the width or direction of your feet to change and play with that sensation in the low back, but really send the breath to wherever the sensation is occurring. Allow your breath to be steady and even. Take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, the chin comes down. We draw the feet a little closer and the hands come to either side. Inhale, press up to cobra pose. The elbows are bent, the hips connect down. And then we bend the knees, bring the big toes to touch, and press the hips back to the heels, coming into child's pose. And in child's pose, we want to reconnect with the breath. And especially on Mother's Day weekend, coming into child's pose, I know for me, connects me back to my mother. And while no relationship is perfect, it's important to extend gratitude to our ancestors and to the line of women who brought us into the world. Take a big inhale, reach the fingertips forward. Exhale, walk the hands over to the right, reaching through that left hand, breathing into left side body. Inhale, hands back to the center. Exhale, rock up to a tabletop position. Inhale, tuck the toes behind. And as you exhale, lift the hips, come all the way back to downward facing dog. As you arrive, inhale, bend both knees deeply and 1 inch at a time. Make your way all the way to the top of your yoga mat, trying to stack the shoulders and hips over the wrists. And as you arrive in this forward fold, bring tented fingers in front of the right foot, bend the right knee deeply, and reach the left arm high to the sky, this time coming into a twisting forward fold. Use the core strength to find lightness through that right hand, extending through left fingertips. And maybe you find sensation to the outside of the left hip here, but really, you're the only person in your body, so I empower you to have your experience. No excuses, only acceptance and compassion. Take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, the hand comes down. Inhale, palms to shin, glance out halfway, lengthening. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, reach both arms high to the sky, palms touch above the head. And as you exhale, the left hand comes down, the right arm stretches high, and then tilts over to the left. Keeping the hips and shoulders square towards the front of the room, the belly draws in and up, supporting length through both sides of the waist. This pose used to really steal me of my breath, so if your breathing is coming away from you, come out of the pose a little bit. Your breath is the cornerstone of this practice, however it's showing up and however you're experiencing it in your body. Take a big inhale, reach both arms high. And as you exhale, draw both hands back to the heart. Spread the toes over the mat. Begin to shift the weight into that right foot, and then just lift the left heel. And notice as the stabilizing muscles in that right leg kind of click into attention. Send your attention down through the sole of the right foot as we bring the left foot to the inner right thigh, calf, even a kickstand at the ankle. The only place you don't want to place that foot is on the knee. It's a hinge joint. It only wants to move in one direction. You can fix the gaze on an unmoving object, helping you to maintain your balance. And then eventually you can take any arm variation you prefer. I like to extend the arms and turn the palms face up to receive. I also feel like it rotates through the collarbones and creates a sense of openness in the heart. And if we could all be a bit more loving and compassionate, who knows what this world could look like? Take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, draw the hands back to the heart and release the foot down. Inhale to reach both arms high to the sky. And as you exhale, fold all the way forward. Plant the palms and separate the feet as wide as your yoga mat, turning the toes out to about 45 degrees, and we'll flow through some squats here, just warming up through the hips. We inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, squat down about halfway. Inhale, lengthens. Exhale to squat. Inhale, lengthens. Exhale to squat. Inhale, lengthens. Exhale to squat. Inhale, lift the legs and heel toe the feet underneath the hips. Inhale to gently lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, fold and come back to our downward facing dog. And again, we can put that gentle bend to the knees, we extend in the arms and reach the sit bones towards the back of the room.
Citizens fits the flow of your life with convenient and easy-to-use tech that makes you ready to wake up, pay your friend back with Zelle in the Citizens mobile app, all before your morning snooze. Quickly buy groceries with your Citizens card and your digital wallet for your next culinary adventure. And easily deposit that birthday check with mobile deposit. So whether you're relaxing, creating, or celebrating, we have tech that fits the flow of your life. Citizens, made ready.
When you're ready, inhale, roll through the spine, drift forward to plank, stacking the shoulders over the wrists. We press back through the heels and reach through the crown of the head and collarbones. Take an inhale here to press the floor away. And as you exhale, lower the knees and chest, keeping the elbows into the body. As you arrive, you can separate the feet and bring the elbows underneath the shoulders once more, returning to our Sphinx pose. We use the kind of friction between the palms and the mat to draw the heart forward, lengthening between each rib and opening through the chest. One of my favorite teachers once told me that the greatest distance we'll travel as human beings is the distance between our heart and our head. And this pose reminds me of that so completely, because we're lifting through the heart, but we're still connecting through the brain. What would it mean to be integrated in the way we feel and the way we think? To allow ourselves the natural interplay of both of these energies. Take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, release the chin down, walking the feet a bit closer and bring the hands to either side of the heart. We inhale to press up, cobra pose. Exhale, take it over the knees, big toes touch as we bring the hips to the heels, coming into child's pose. And again, the knees are spread just wide enough so that the thighs can cradle the floor, the hands stretch out front, and the forehead comes down. Deepen the breath here. Notice the sense of expansion through the belly, the diaphragm, the space of the tailbone. And if you can call in maybe your inner child here, all those who offer you refuge, who support you, who love you. Take an inhale to stretch the fingertips forward. And as you exhale, walk your hands to the left, extending through the right hand, breathing into right side body. Inhale, walk the hands back to the center. Exhale, rock up, tabletop position, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. We inhale to tuck the toes behind, and exhale to lift the hips, come back to downward facing dog. When you're ready, glance forward, bend the knees deeply, and slowly step inch by inch all the way to the top of your yoga mat. As you arrive, we bring tented fingers in front of the left foot, gently extending the spine. Bend the left knee deeply and reach the right arm up towards the sky. We use our core strength to find a bit of lightness underneath the left fingertips as we stretch through that right hand. Maybe we find sensation to the outside of the right hip here, but again, allow the sensation to show up in your body to the most authentic way it can. Take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, the hand comes down. Inhale, palms to shin, glance out halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, reach the arms high, palms touch above the head. And as you exhale, the right hand comes down. We extend the left arm high and then take it up and over. The hips and shoulders square towards the front of the room. And we use our core strength to maintain length through both sides of the waist and then extend to those fingertips. Take a big inhale here, reach both arms high. And as you exhale, draw the hands to the heart. Begin to shift the weight into that left foot, spread the left toes, and just start by lifting the right heel. Give your body a chance to settle into the support of that left leg, noticing as the ankle and calf maybe kind of activate. And then when you're ready, you can bring the right foot to the left calf, ankle at a kickstand, or even use the hand to bring the foot all the way up to the thigh if that's something that feels good. But again, we want to avoid the knee at the hip joint. Works in one direction. Fix your gaze on an unmoving object, helping you to maintain your balance. Once you feel settled, grounded, those roots diving from the sole of that left foot into the earth, you can take any arm variation you prefer. Open through the heart. Take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, draw the hands back to heart center and release that foot down. We inhale to reach both arms high to the sky. And as you exhale, fold all the way forward. And again, we separate the feet, walking them about as wide as your yoga mat. And we'll flow through some squats just to keep warming up the hips. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, sink the hips. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, as we squat. Maybe we go a little deeper. Inhale to lengthen and lift. Exhale, as we squat. Inhale to lengthen and lift. Exhale, as we squat. Inhale, lengthen and lift, and walk the feet underneath the hips. Inhale, we bring the palms to the shins and lengthen the spine. Exhale as we fold and step back to downward facing dog. And as you arrive, drop the knees down to the mat, but keep the wrists just in front of the shoulders. And we'll begin to take some hip circles here. And these hip circles can be as wide or as shallow as your body needs. Allow yourself to explore, to stay with your breath. And as we begin to move into our cooling sequence, I encourage you to really deepen the breath and your relationship to it. And then change directions. And then eventually, we roll to one hip or the other and swing the knees around, walking the soles of the feet as wide as your yoga mat. The hands can come to either side, the fingertips point to the outsides of the room. And then we begin to send the knees from side to side, rolling over the muscles of the glutes and hips. Once more, noticing the space where the femur head and hip joint connect. The next time both knees drop down to the left, let them stay there. We bring the right hand to the right hip and just begin to roll the pelvis forward and back. Maybe this creates sensation through the thigh or into the low back or waist. Come back to stillness, sitting up nice and tall. We inhale to reach the right arm forward and then sweep the right arm all the way behind, keeping the hand at about shoulder height as we extend through the fingertips. Take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, come back to the center and open the right knee out to the right. Once again, we bring the soles of the feet to touch, but I want you to shift the feet far from the body so the knees are making a nice wide diamond. Taking the ankles in the hands, we inhale to lengthen the spine and fold forward, this time trying to place the face into the feet. And again, that's our somewhat destination. But you may or may not get anywhere close, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. None of these shapes are an end goal for anything. It's more an invitation for you to explore and feel sensation in your body. Take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, begin to release. Bring the hands to the outsides of the knees and press the knees to touch. Walk the feet a bit wider than your mat or your shoulders. And once more, we send the knees from side to side, rolling over the muscles of the glutes and hips. And I encourage you to move slowly here to notice how receptive you can become to even the most subtle sensation. To maintain the relationship between your body and your breath, and to allow your thoughts to come and go without attaching to them. And then we send both knees over to the right. The left knee is near the sole of the right foot and the left hand comes to the hip. And we just begin to rock the pelvis forward and back. Maybe we find sensation down through the thigh or into the low back or waist. Come back to stillness, stacking the shoulders over the hips. Inhale to reach the left arm forward and then stretch the left arm all the way behind. Keeping the hand at about shoulder height, we extend through the fingertips. Take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, come back to the center. This time we extend both legs out front. And as you arrive, kind of pull yourself out from under, rooting down to the sit bones. Flex the toes back towards the face and lengthen the spine. We take a big inhale to sweep the arms high. And as you exhale, fold over the legs, letting everything go. And as we find this forward fold, we can inhale to gently extend in the spine and exhale to sink deeper. Take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, slowly begin to release. Walk your feet to the top of your yoga mat and scoot your hips to meet your heels. We bring tented fingers in front of the toes, rounding the spine, drawing the belly button towards the earth. Trace those fingertips back as we come all the way to the mat. Just to give you guys a better view, I'm going to go diagonal here. We can walk the feet back towards the body so the heels are no more than 6 inches from the pelvis, and bring the hands to either side of the waist, palms turn face down. Spread the toes, root down to the center of the heels, and on your next inhale, lift the hips coming into bridge pose. There are many options here. You can bring blanket or block underneath the tailbone to support the hips, or you can interlace the fingers underneath, rolling to the tops of the shoulders and lifting in the space of the heart. We want to breathe deeply in and out of the nose, not just into the release valve of the belly, but into the chest and collarbones, as if the heart can expand into the wall behind you. Take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, release the hands and release the hips down to the earth, nice and slow. As you arrive, cross the right ankle over the left knee Take the hands around the left thigh. So the right hand comes between the legs and we interlace behind that leg. And then pull the knees into the chest, flexing both feet, breathing into that right hip. I like to explore here by gently rocking from side to side. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, the left foot comes down, we uncross that left thigh again. The hands come down to the earth, we root through the center of the heel, take a big inhale, lift the hips, coming into bridge pose. Breathing into the entirety of front body here. Take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, the hips come down. And this time we cross the left ankle over the right knee. Take the hands around the right thigh so the left hand comes between the legs as we interlace the finger underneath, the hands underneath. And then pull the knees into the chest, flexing both ankles, gently guiding the left knee towards the front of the room, exploring in the shape however you like to, but breathing into that left hip. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, the right foot comes down. We open both feet nice and wide and send the arms out to a T. And once more, just begin to send the knees from side to side. Rolling over the muscles of the glutes and the hips. Noticing if this movement feels any different now that we're taking it lying down versus in that seated position. And then begin to pull the knees into the chest and gently rock from side to side, pressing the low back down and massaging the muscles that surround the spine. And the next pose that we're going to take is called Happy Baby. We bring the elbows to the insides of the knees and reach for the ankles first as we stack the ankles on top of the knees. We want to keep the low back and the head down, but all the moms will know this one because when you have a kid, this is what they like to do. And you get bonus points if you can bring the feet all the way into the mouth like a baby. You can also extend through one leg and the other, even open into a right straddle if it feels good to explore in this shape. But again, we can bring this sense of playfulness into our practice. Levity and joy. Take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, pull both of your knees back into your chest. We keep the right knee pulled in nice and tight and extend the left leg forward. Open the right arm out to the right and scoot the hips a few inches to the right. On your next exhale, send the right knee towards the left and turn your head to the right to complete the twist. With every exhalation, see if you can settle a bit deeper, relax the muscles, allow the muscles to drop away from the bone, melting into the earth. Take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, come back to the center. Hold both knees into the chest, giving yourself a good squeeze, pressing the low back down. This time we keep the left knee pulled in, extend the right leg forward. Open the left arm out to the left. Scoot the hips a few inches to the left, and on your next exhale, send the left knee towards the right, turning your head to the left to complete the twist. Take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, come back to the center, giving yourself one final big squeeze. Take a deep breath in and hold that breath in as you squeeze yourself into a tight little ball, clenching every muscle in your body, fingers, toes, face, suck in more air. And when you need to exhale, we release everything down, coming into our final resting pose, Shavasana. The feet fall open to either side, the palms turn face up, and the limbs drop neutrally out of the joints. Relax the muscles of the neck and jaw. Allow the cheeks to hollow, the corners of the eyes to soften, and the tip of the tongue to drop away from the roof of the mouth. Release the conscious control of the breath and give yourself permission here to surrender. Slowly begin to deepen your breath, bringing your awareness back into your body, noticing the expansion of the chest and belly. You can wiggle the fingers and toes, rock the head from side to side if that feels good. Maybe stretching the arms up and over the head as we reach from the heels through the fingertips. And then bring one hand to instead of the neck or the other, rolling onto one side, coming into the fetal position. Taking a moment here to offer yourself some gratitude for showing up and taking the time to be with your body, and eventually we can come all the way up to a seat. And whatever a comfortable seat means to you, step one palm over the other in front of the sternum, and just give yourself a nice rub here, sealing all the energy that we created back into the body. Thank you so much for joining me. It's such a pleasure to be able to lead you in this way and share in a practice that I feel so passionate about. I hope you have a lovely day. Drink a lot of water and be kind to yourself first and foremost, extending that kindness back out into the world. Thank you so much, and you take care.
Citizens fits the flow of your life with convenient and easy-to-use tech that makes you ready to wake up, pay your friend back with Zelle in the Citizens mobile app, all before your morning snooze. Quickly buy groceries with your Citizens card and your digital wallet for your next culinary adventure. And easily deposit that birthday check with mobile deposit. So whether you're relaxing, creating, or celebrating, we have tech that fits the flow of your life. Citizens, made ready.